Welcome to the Call Guys podcast, co-hosted by Kevin Hopp and Ronen Pessar. This podcast is all about sales development and the art and science of building high-performing outbound sales teams. Tune in weekly to hear live cold calls and also to hear Kevin and Ronen interview some of the top names in sales development. Let's dive right into this week's episode and see what we can learn. This episode is brought to you by Connect and Sell, your live conversation weapon. Teams that use Connect and Sell average 5 to 10 times more live conversations every day with their prospects. As a cold calling consultant, I've used every platform out there, and simply put, Connect and Sell is the Cadillac of the sales acceleration space. If you haven't tried it out, your team can try it for free by clicking the link in the show notes below.
I get so hyped by that every single time.
That was a sick intro. I was kind of mesmerized by that thing.
That was actually Kevin riffing on his electric guitar.
Really?
Fun fact, Kevin used to be in a band, and man, he was your typical angsty teenager. Played metal.
Nice.
He wore a lot of black clothing, nail polish, eyeliner.
Man. Wow.
Parts of that. You can play the game two truths and a lie there, because parts of that are true, parts of it are not true.
I have a request. I'm guessing the nail polish was the non-true part, but I have a request. If I book a meeting, I want you to whip out all the garb again and start shredding gnar on the guitar.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Everyone, welcome back to the show. We have a beautiful guest with us today, Jacob Tuwiner, and yours truly, Ronen Pessar, and my co-host,
Kevin Hopp. How we doing? Hello, internet world. We're going to be making some live cold calls today. This is the Call Guys. Hop on calls by the Call Guys. We have a sponsor we should talk about for a second here. Big shout out to Connect and Sell. It's a live conversation weapon. We're going to be using it today to have a lot of live prospect conversations with folks in a very short period of time. The whole point of using Connect and Sell is to accelerate the rate at which you can actually talk to people. Not the rate at which you can hand dial the phone, not the rate at which you can send emails. If you have not tried Connect and Sell, please check it out. Jacob, who are you going to be calling today? Who are you going to be calling, and what are you going to be talking to them about? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so I'm going to be calling mostly sales leaders, specifically sales development, ideally, at companies that are under 500 employees, ideally less than 100, because these people typically field net new pipeline inbound leads. And I sell a product that removes friction from the inbound lead conversion process and increases inbound win rates. And so I like to cold call these guys, schmooze them up a little bit, try and spit some fire on the phone, be a little bit charismatic. And if I can pique their interest, get them to the site for a real-time demo of the product. And that usually is enough to get them to book a meeting.
And all of you in the audience, feel free to hop up into the chat and tell us where you're viewing from. So where are you from? I see Chet, AKA the Sales Doctor's in the house. For those of you who don't already follow Jacob, please go over to his LinkedIn profile, give him a follow. He's got some awesome cold call content that he shares as well. Very unique style that hopefully we'll be fortunate enough to experience today in real time. And Jacob, what's the company that you work for called?
ServiceBell.
ServiceBell. Check out ServiceBell. Really cool technology, actually. And Kevin, who are we calling today?
I am going to be calling sales leaders to start out here, talking a bit about what Ronen and I do, custom sales training. One of the two things we do, we build SDR teams as a service, and we do custom sales training. So I'm going to be calling some sales leaders. What about you, Ronen?
I'm going to be calling some giant company sales leaders. So not the startup ones, but the ones who might be looking for cold call training. So I'm going to be trying to actually convince them to hire me to train their teams to cold call and cold call better, which is fun.
That you're using your product to sell your own product.
Isn't that hilarious? It's pretty cool, right?
I like that a lot. Dog fooding to the extreme.
Last time we did this last week, 3 people complimented me on it. They're like, oh, it was like one dude was like, I'm not the right person, but like you sound really good. So kudos to you. And I'm like, sweet, man. Thanks.
There you
go. But man, do I love cold calling. And
Greg, thanks for joining us. You're going to hear some different approaches for sure between the three of us. Shout out Eddie Cortez. He's the guy. He was on our show a few weeks ago. Eddie makes cold calls. Without further ado, let's jump in. Let's hit go. I'm ready.
I think that Ronen and I actually have. I've been looking at your posts about the You have like the soft kind of smiley opener that you like to use. I find that mine is somewhat similar. So I don't know about Kevin. Might be a bit more blunt. I'm guessing.
Jacob, your opener inspired me quite a bit because when I saw how conversational and friendly you were, I'm like, oh, I need to dial up the conversational friendliness some more.
Boom.
And then I stumbled upon the. Yeah, I mean, it works with salespeople and like sales dev people. They get it.
Exactly. That's why it works on them. Would not work on engineers. So.
No. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm glad you brought that up, right? So people ask me this all the time. They're like, hey, Ronen, you posted that video about rolling the dice and it went viral and yada, yada. I actually reposted it last night. I do it like every 4 or 5 months. I repost it. And the video, people are like, I don't get it. I've tried that opener. It doesn't work.
This is Kevin with the Call Guys. Peter, how are you?
Got one. Live call.
Yeah, my name is Kevin. I know I'm an interruption. We never met before, Peter. Did I catch you at the minute to have a cold conversation, or are you heads down on something else? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Peter, catch you another time. Cheers.
Womp womp.
So if multiple of us get pickups at the same time, I can just call without worrying about it, right? Like you'll mute me or something like that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm going to start ripping dials. Here we go.
Yeah. Rip away.
I just want to say that I'm going to attribute my success or failure mostly to the list because I always say your list is your strategy. And
yes.
You know what they say? If you have 10 hours to chop down a tree, spend 9 hours sharpening the axe.
Yes. I got a pickup, which I decided not to answer once I realized who it was. That's why I paused awkwardly. But the point is that, she's like, hello? And then I was like, peace. And I hung up the phone. But Todd, Jacob from ServiceBell, how's it going? Doing well, man. I'm giving you a cold call, but I figured you'd be open to being in sales. Was I off there? That's a good answer. Depends on what the cold call is about. Okay. Well, it's a bit ironic. I sell a product that lets you know when a prospect is on your site. It could be a target account, open deal, whatever. And then you can call them on the website and catch them at the perfect time instead of cold calling and relying on these cheeky openers to try and pitch somebody. So just curious how you handle inbound leads right now. Okay, you do a lot of cold calling. How's mine going so far? So if you do a lot of cold calling, how's mine going so far?
For our type of business, cold calling is a good way of doing business. We're in a real community and go off the ag industry, and they got face to face, so it works well for us. Right,
face to face. I agree. You mentioned that you have a team, it sounds like, that fields inbound leads for you. Like they look at them and hand them off to you once they've been screened, so to speak?
So to speak, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much screening they do. It's just somebody, emails in a lead. It just goes directly to the geographic location it belongs to, and then call them in.
I hear. You mentioned you're doing a lot of outbound, though. Would you say that most of your efforts are cold calling versus inbound leads coming in?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
95.5.
Okay, fair enough. This might not be the best fit for you then. I appreciate you being a good sport, though. It sounds like you're driving, so have a safe trip, and good luck out there, man. All righty. Take it easy. Bye-bye. So I just DQ'd the guy. He wasn't really a good fit, which again has to do with my list. Like I was saying, if you call good leads if you have a good list beforehand, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, take us through what happened there on the opener.
So he liked my opener. He laughed and he said, well, it depends what you're cold calling about. And I go, oh, okay, that's a good answer. And I felt at that point I was pretty comfortable with the guy already. So I was able to kind of schmooze a little bit. And when I pitched him my product, he was a head of sales and business development, which depending on the company doesn't always field inbound leads. They sometimes will take care of existing pipeline, open deals, and also like strategic partnerships more so than like handling web leads, which is what I'm going for. And so Those titles are hit or miss, and I quickly...
Dude.
Harry, Jacob from ServiceBell, how's it going?
Ding ding.
Not too bad. What's up?
I'm cold calling you, as you probably could imagine. Are you open to it, or should I hang up on myself?
I'll take the pitch. What's up?
Word. Okay, well, it's actually ironic. I sell a product that lets you know when one of your prospects is, let's say, on your demo request page or on a resources page or something. And then you can actually video call them directly on the website and catch them at the perfect time instead of cold calling. So I'm just curious how you guys are handling your inbound leads right now.
We've got a pretty elaborate setup for a lot of different tools. We've got things like Drift and Marketo, a number of other tools going on. And to be honest, right now we're actually more focused on outbound than anything.
Huh.
Trying to increase the direct targeted sales to high value named accounts. What you're talking about is probably more something that would be something the marketing or ops teams would think about than I can deal with inbound.
Not top of mind.
With our
So essentially you already have a massive tech stack that is working well for you, and you don't even care as much about inbound as you do about outbound currently. So I just totally took the L essentially. I hear. So I was going to keep, there is a still use case for you, I think, although you mentioned you're on Marketo, which made me wonder if you only use Salesforce instead of HubSpot at all. Because you do not use HubSpot. Okay, well, this is specifically for HubSpot. Sometimes marketing uses HubSpot for marketing automation, even though the sales team is on Salesforce, but probably not a fit for that reason. One cool use case, if you guys ever do implement HubSpot, I can tell you when those target accounts you mentioned are on your website in real time with 6 Sense and Clearbit, and then your team could pounce on them immediately. Whether they click through an email or not, you can catch these guys at the perfect time. And I guarantee you they're visiting your website.
That one capability we do have for 6 Sense.
You also have 6 Sense, great. Crushing it. Okay, you guys are crushing it. Fair enough, man. Well, you've been a good sport, and I wish you well with your outbound motion. It's not easy, as you can tell. A lot of no's before you get to a yes. Dude, that was a freaking great line. I might start using that. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be careful how I say that too. Yeah, for sure. Oh, cool, man. Classic. Yep, classic. I haven't heard that. That's the first time someone's told me that this year. Just kidding. No, kidding. Okay. Anyway, dude, have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you.
My God, Jacob is a masterclass in tonality, friendliness. Can we just call out how easy it is to talk to him? You pull people in with your warmth.
He said at the end of the call, I was like, okay, this guy he has all this tech already. He's not even on HubSpot, DQ'd. Super nice though. And when I said thanks for taking the call and being a good sport, he was like, yeah, man, there's a special place in hell for SDR leaders who don't take cold calls.
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
I'm here for that take.
Yeah.
I am here for that take. So many sales leaders are do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. I think the friendliness thing, the biggest challenge with cold, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Trent Dressel coined that term in my mind, and it really is true. Most communication is vocal, meaning tonality, not verbal. So speed and tone and inflection are huge. And because people are so nervous to get rejected from some random person, they sound like, hey, sorry. And it's like, okay, why would I want to talk to you, right? So it takes practice, but you get to the point where I don't even have I'm not nervous right now. I'm calm. I'm just here to have a conversation.
Well, let me guess, Jacob, the first time you cold call, you probably were nervous.
Oh yeah, I was pooping in my pants.
So between then,
yeah, sorry.
My first cold call went something like, I was calling from a company called Smartling, and I'm like, hi, this is Smartling from Ronen. I mean, I'm Ronen calling from Smartling, and I was so nervous I hung up on the prospect.
Yeah.
That was my first cold call. It was a complete shit show.
Yeah, my first cold call, I was a cold email guy. I was never wanting to cold call. I sold a deal to a client. I was working in an outsourced sales agency. He wanted to sell drug screens and physicals to local trucking companies in Chicago and Indiana. and the first 2 cold callers that were placed both quit or failed within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So to save the account, I was like, screw it, I'll do it for you. So I was using Google Maps, a Google Sheet, and my cell phone to make cold calls into healthcare companies without knowing who I was talking to, and never cold calling before. Somehow I figured it out, and that was the rest is history, I guess. But I was also very nervous. I was calling by myself from my room with no support or guidance, and I was terrified.
I don't know if that's worse or the first time I was cold calling, I was in an open office where the entire company heard me.
Oh,
The entire my neighboring SDR didn't let down the fact that I introduced myself as the company name Smartling.
yeah.
And he, for the next like 3-4 months, relentlessly taunted me. He would just always be like, "Oh, hey, Smartling, what's up?" But the whole office heard me flop. And I think that's really tough when you're a new cold caller. People ask me all the time, like, hey, any advice for confidence when you're getting started? One of them is don't cold call in front of your entire office.
Yes.
Like
when I started cold calling, especially at ServiceBell, when I get rejected, I know my numbers. I know, like, okay, I'm 4 more. Like, I'm probably gonna get a meeting in 3 more pickups based on like my numbers. So, but before I knew that day, when I was the first person to come in to even figure out the outbound motion here, so I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just calling. We had so many different customers and so many different use cases and personas. So I was just trying to find something repeatable, and I was so often failing. I found it to be so embarrassing. And I actually would, instead of going to my office, I would cold call from my house in my unfinished basement, which is downstairs, which is just terrible, so that nobody would hear me. It's a little bit embarrassing to admit. Now I can just cold call in front of like a few hundred people, but it was not always this way.
And now you can do it in front of the internet.
Yeah, you got to build up your confidence. So it's the number one limiting factor of cold call success is you and your mind.
We go back to what you were saying. That thing about the tonality actually has a name. It's a rule. It's called the 7-38-55 rule. 7% of communication is what you say. 38% of it is how you sound, and 55% is your body language.
Right.
You don't have body language on a cold call.
Right.
The only body language you have is your smile, and that shines through in your voice. So you have 93% of your cold call is communication through tonality, intonation. That's why the way you do it works, the way Kevin does it works, the way I do it works, because we end up, I'm going to start ripping some dials here while you're letting me talk so much. But yeah, that's exactly it. Like, it's all about how you sound.
Ooh, I got to pick up, but I could hear a baby in the background. So
hey, Charles. Charles, hey, Ronen, Pessar, how have you been? Yeah, this is Ronen with the call guys. Hey, look, man, I know no one likes getting a cold call, especially not a Tuesday afternoon. I can keep it super brief, and then you can decide if you want to hang up. All right, take care. Womp womp.
He took the hang up route.
Yeah, he goes, terrible time.
Terrible time.
Wow.
Terrible time.
Headphones.
Yeah, one thing that I found that really helps with tonality is actually forcing yourself to smile. And like, I'm just an expressive person, I guess. So I'm doing all this like crazy stuff like anyway, because I'm like, like once I deliver the pitch, I'm like, oh my God, what's he gonna say? And I'm like waiting for it to come out. And I like really get into it with my whole body, which they can't really see, but I think they can hear it. And that's kind of, I don't know, maybe part of the sauce.
That is the sauce. And to Gavin's point, right? Standing up. Although you're not standing up, Jacob, I am. I love standing up.
All right. I'll take the hint. Standing. This is why I bought this damn standing desk.
Helps your voice project. Helps build confidence. You know,
yeah, standing up does help. I have a standing desk. I just don't have it with me right now.
Did my audio come through the other side with the prospect? I should put a headset on, huh?
Nope.
Oh no. Okay, good.
No issues there.
You should have a headset on.
Fine.
That's kind of how it works. Oh, hey, this is Kevin with the Call Guys. Tom, how you doing? Yeah, my name's Kevin Hopp. I'm actually a co-founder of a business called The Call Guys. Tom, I know I caught you out of the blue here. You got a minute? I can explain why I'm reaching out. Oh, totally understand. All right. I guess your quarter ends at the end of the month, I'm going to guess then. Sure. Well, now I know this number connects to you, Tom Elder, so I can call you back at this number next week. Okay, so you don't have a team of folks below you that are doing things like this, right? Having conversations with
Hey,
strangers.
Nick.
Oh, we got 2. This is fun.
Okay, I'm barking the wrong tree then, Tom. I'll let you go. Cheers.
All right, Jacob, come off mute.
I'm from the United States, but I realized I just cold called you after 6 p.m. So do you take cold calls after 6 if they're good cold calls, or do you want to hang up on me? No? No? Okay, take it easy. I would say there's a special place in hell for that guy, but I did a cold call after 6. So, but the thing is, like, come on, dude. It's like, oh, you're calling my cell phone. It's like, yeah, dude, of course I'm calling your cell phone. Otherwise, I wouldn't get you on the phone. Come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
do you not call cell phones? Because if you don't, you're a terrible SDR leader.
Yeah, my favorite line there, Jacob, is to say right back to him quickly, oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to have a conversation with you. Is there a better way to do that? And if you say it with the right, like, oh my God, I was trying to have a conversation with you. Is there a better way to do it? They go like this. They go, no, there's not. What is that?
The thing is that, like, so there's brush up objections and there's actual objections, and actual objections are not objections; they're just like a problem you have to solve, which is a conversation. But,
Hey, Matthew. Ronen Pessar here with the Call Guys. How have you been, man? Glad you asked. So this is a cold call, and that's actually why I'm calling you. Got half a minute? Whoa, congrats, man. Okay. Is it cool to connect with you on LinkedIn to see where you head next? Oh, nope. He's on his boat. All right. Dude took a hiatus.
oof. LinkedIn.
Getting a lot of those recently. Like very senior people all like, yeah, I'm just burnt out. I'm taking some time off.
Yeah, everyone's getting wrecked with SaaS. I think, what were you saying about, oh yeah, the objections. So the actual problems are things you should.
Hello?
This is not Paul, is it?
Nope.
Wow, wrong number. Sorry. She was like, hello? And I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Actual objections are not objections. You should actually try and help. If it's like an actual problem, it's a problem. But brush off objections, there's 2 types. There's ones that are like, there's one brush off objection, which is like, I'm not certain enough to talk to you that you're going to be, the time will be valuable. So I'm trying to brush you off. And then there's the one that's just like, I'm a total jerk. And I'm like, I don't even want to, like, that's the, why are you calling my cell phone? That's one of them. I'm a total jerk. When I hear that, I don't even really care about fighting for it. I'm just like, great. And I hang up on them because it's like, I'm in control. I want to be more in control. I don't want to feel rejected. It's like, I really want to talk to you, dude. If you're going to, it's like, come on, man. Give me a break.
3, 5.
We teach this in the boot camp, right? So this is lesson 3 when we go into objection handling, the brush offs versus the real business ones. Brush offs are an objection to the fact that you called, not what you said, not the problem you solved. It has nothing to do with why you're calling. But the way that you have to be able to address them.
Dan, this is Jacob from ServiceBell. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I am actually cold calling you. Do you want to hang up or roll the dice?
I'd rather hang up.
Okay, that's okay. Maybe we'll get lucky next time. Take it easy.
You too.
Ronen, you may have overdone that one. I don't know what the deal is. People don't like it anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a tough one, man.
He was a VP. I knew he was going to be. Sometimes when you look at their LinkedIn profile picture, you know it's going to go badly. And that was one of those times. He was like an older man wearing a bow tie and a tuxedo.
Okay, then I have a name for those folks.
Oh, yeah?
Awesome dudes.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. We got a different name that we are not going to say on there.
Jacob from ServiceBell. How's it going?
I think I called you yesterday. The first time I called, I didn't hear it ring.
I don't think you called me yesterday, and now that I'm hearing your voice, I think I have the wrong number. But enjoy. Take it. Have a good one, brother. Peace. That was an old man. And I was like, what the heck? Here's another tip I would say for cold calling that I think works well for me. Assuming I'm already in a good headspace, like I went for a run or I like did my thing, whatever your ritual is, meditation, whatever it is. assuming you're already in a good headspace, which is a big part of it, have fun with the calls,
Yes.
You have a right number, laugh it off. You have some guy's a jerk, laugh it off. It's like, great, that was funny. That was hilarious. Or you mess up, that was funny. Wow, I suck. Not really. Let's keep going. Like, it's all good, Keep a smile and just keep rolling.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. We also got a lot of friends in the house today. Wow. People really showing up for this one. Jacob, you're bringing in the crowd.
How many people are in the stream? I'm not looking at the LinkedIn stream right now.
Closer to like 6,572 people.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Chris, it's Jacob from ServiceBell. How's it going?
Okay.
Oh, this is the same wrong number. Wow, dude, I'm really sorry. I'll see you later, dude. Oh, that was really bad. That was on me. There's a special place in hell for people like me, I will say.
You just redialed him by accident?
No, I just clicked next, but it just I don't know. It was probably user error. Connect and Sell is a great platform. It was probably my fault. But yeah, the same old guy picked up the phone, and I was just like, "Wow, dude, I'm really sorry." The crazy thing was, he still didn't realize that it was me. He was like, he thought I was like some Amazon guy. Both times, he thought I was like an Amazon guy. So, I don't know. You never know what's going on in your buyer's world, right?
Can you imagine if Amazon called you every time they dropped off a package? I don't know about you guys, but my wife would make sure my phone rang 3 times a day.
I don't have a wife yet, but my roommate.
Jacob, we got to fix that, man.
We do. I think I'm going to start, Ronen. I think I'm going to start hitting the dating market within a year. I think I'm going to go in the summer and start trying to get a shidduch. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
My first cousin has a chasana, a wedding tonight in Brooklyn. It's going to be insane.
Mazel tov.
She's from Flatbush. Thank you. Ronen and I are both of Jewish heritage. That's why we're busting out the terms, but maybe not the right time and place. So I'm just going to change the conversation now.
Is there ever a right time and place?
I don't know. Probably not. Oh man, I'm calling an SDR manager at CallRail. I think he'll pick up.
That's hilarious. You should call your competitors.
I actually DM'd the partnerships guy at our biggest competitor and asked if he would send us referrals. But we're not actually competitors. We're seemingly competitors, but we only compete in a specific top of our market. So we're like going for mid-market. They're going for enterprise, and we're going for HubSpot. They're going for Salesforce. So, Ellis.
Yeah.
I'm cold calling you. I'm Jacob from ServiceBell, and I just realized that.
Hey, Jonathan.
But if you're open to the cold call, I'll keep going. If you want to.
Hey, Jonathan, Ronen, Pessar. This is a cold call. You want to roll the dice?
I'm from ServiceBell, as in ding. It's actually great because you won't ever cold call your prospects too late. It lets you know when they're on your website, and you can call them at the perfect time.
I totally get it, man. Happy end of quarter. It's cool if I connect you on LinkedIn instead of email. I'm a big LinkedIn guy.
Oh, you weren't.
Cool.
I know it's ironic.
Awesome
I just called your name and
cold called
gave you a ring.
Cold call training.
This is not. I'm not dogfooding my own product right now. Yeah.
I'm not a decision maker of any kind. I'm very sorry to say.
That's okay.
But I can put you in the right direction. Who do you need to speak to?
I want to speak to the person that cares about converting either inbound leads on the site, or I imagine you do a lot of outbound prospecting, no?
Yeah, it's simply outbound.
Right.
All our calling candidates to the state, so.
I hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
there,
Potentially. Yeah, potentially. I guess I was going to say that I could let you know when your target accounts are on the site, so you could call them, like video call them. It's not a traditional phone call.
We got Zoom Info and 10 for that.
Ah, nice.
And six
Right.
actually. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. We integrated both of those, but the difference is, I imagine you get a notification that says this company was on your website, right? And then you have to go figure out who was there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. So precisely. I would say the difference here is that on top of just the historical data or having to figure out who it is, I can video call you in real time while you're on the website before you leave and never respond. And I guarantee you that your outbound prospects are looking you up, hitting your site, and then not responding to your emails. I'd rather show you than tell you. I know that you're not the decision maker, but I think that you would be one of the users, and I would love to have your buy-in before I even bother going to someone else. Because if you don't want to use it, then there's no point in pitching anybody else internally, you know?
Close.
What countries do you work in?
What countries do we work in? What do you mean? Like, what countries does the software work for?
Yeah, which countries do you operate in? Like your clients?
Our clients. Yeah. So I would say primarily North America and the UK. Where like we have all the American as well as European security compliance taken care of, if that's what you're asking about. And so we have customers on both sides, like GDPR, all that good stuff. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And even though I'm a salesperson and I love to talk and ramble, I'd much rather just show it to you. If you go to ServiceBell.com, I can just show you in like 30 seconds instead of making.
How long is the demo?
Well, you could book a meeting for later this week, and that would be half an hour, or you could go to the site right now, and it'll take 30 seconds for you to.
I'm willing
So.
to give you 30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it does help me. Yeah, so I imagine you don't want to book the. I imagine you don't want to book the meeting at 6 p.m. though. So maybe we'll do it a bit earlier.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
An hour earlier.
Cool. Do you have a 5 o'clock open on Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday would be better.
Okay. And the email that I have on file for you. Actually, believe it or not, I don't have it on file. Is it just first.last at?
No, it's my first initial.
Okay.
My last name, eogle@brighton.com.
Cool. Well, we send the invite your way. Do you usually want your prospects to confirm the invite before or not?
I'm absolutely not got any juice, but I'll have to take a thinking. Why not?
That's cool, man. I would love to get some info from you on the org, and then I can work my way in somewhere else, I suppose, if it's a fit. And if not, then that's okay too. I'm always open to make relationships.
Oh yeah.
Cool. That's it. Send it
Cool.
over, please, mate.
Alrighty. I just sent it. I'll talk to you Thursday.
Thanks, buddy.
Peace.